When you think of going to class, analyzing blood stains and making casts out of footprints probably doesn't come to mind.
But that's exactly what about 30 state and local law enforcement officers were up to today. News 8's Jenna Traum brings us an inside look at a class on processing crime scenes.
Mike and Lisa, this class is in high demand by officers looking to get some hands-on experience. And the officers in this class tell me it's one thing to read how to do it in a textbook or hear about it in a lecture, but in the field, it's a whole different game.
Got a Jane Doe here.
This isn't what it looks like.
We'll save the body for last.
This isn't a real body, and this isn't a real crime scene.
Get the bags in here and start going through this close.
But this hands-on experience will help officers like La Crosse Police Detective Sergeant Dan Close be ready when it happens in the real world.
That's where you learn the most, is when you can get away from the books and actually do it in the field. That's when most people really let the material sink into their head.
He's one of nearly 30 officers in a class put on about 5 times a year by the Wisconsin Department of Justice.
In this particular scene, then, they're going to find some drug evidence, and they're going to find a gun, and they're going to find those blood stains and some footwear and tire track impressions that were left behind.
Experts from the State Crime Lab teach local and state law enforcement officers how to properly collect evidence from these mock crime scenes.
Then we test their ability to properly package each of the items so that the evidence that is collected is preserved, not destroyed, and it's going to maintain integrity until it's processed at the crime laboratory.
Sergeant Close says the evidence collection officers do in the field right after a crime happens can make or break the case when it eventually gets to court.
What you're going to find the defendant guilty on is the evidence. You have to have the evidence and the probable cause to make the arrest, and it's crucial.
Sergeant Close is the only one from the La Crosse Police Department in this session of the class, but he says the department hopes to eventually put all of its investigators through this training.
Thanks, Jenna. The officers are given a maximum of 4.5 hours to analyze one of these mock crime scenes.
But in the real world, they would probably take 8 to 16 hours to process.